Welcome to week 9 of the NFL season. We got our best bets and some trends. Let's talk some football. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we are back to talk some more NFL football. That's right, it is already week 9 in the NFL. Absolutely crazy. Nice 1-0 start to the week with our one-unit winner of CJ Stroud. We will go over that in the recap in just a little bit. But let's carry that momentum over. We won a couple units in week 8 as well. So let's get right into it. But before we do, we got to mention our partner, Callsheet. That's right. This is an incredible site, guys. Me and Ryan have been having a ton of fun. What you can do is you buy and sell contracts. It's pretty similar to stocks, except for it's on world events, whether it's weather, video games, movies, politics, whatever it is you want to gamble on, you can do it. It's federally regulated in all 50 states. So be sure to click the link below in the description. First 500 people get a $20 bonus credit. But this week, we only got 2 teams on a bye. We got the 49ers and the Steelers. So we got a lot of games this weekend. I'm excited for it. But I'm ready to get into it, which means it's time for the fun fact. So here we go. Since its creation, every NFC South team has both finished last in the division and also made an appearance in the Super Bowl. Pretty impressive since it was created in 2002. Anyways, just a little fun fact for you. In this video, we're going to recap Thursday night, and then we're going to give you our Week 9 trends. They struggled last week. They went 5-8 after 2 straight winning weeks, but we'll go over all those. We got some good ones this weekend. And then I'll give you my 3 best bets, and then we'll finish it with that trends parlay that is due for a winner. And then we'll finish it all off with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we have a chance of hitting 31,000 subscribers this weekend. Cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are awesome. Thank you for allowing me to talk sports every single day. But let's get into it, and it starts with the recap. There it is, short and simple, 1-0 to start the weekend. That's what I'd like to see. CJ Stroud under 224.5 pass yards. It wasn't really that sweaty. I mean, they had one drive down 2 scores at the end of the game where if he got every single yard to the end zone, he would have went over, but then he scrambled, and he had no chance, to be honest. He had a 50-yard pass to Tank Dell. Even with that, he went well under this line. Absolutely love this one. Probably should have put even more than the unit on it, but either way, we got a winner. So there it is. Season record 65-67, up 2.92 units. We need to go on a hot streak. That's just all there is to it. So that's what we got for the Thursday night football recap. And now it's time for the week 9 trends. All right, here is page 1 of the trends for week 9. And we start out with Mr. Kirk Cousins. He's thrown an interception in every home game this season. If you like that, it's minus 110 to go over a pick. Dolphins 1-9 against the spread last 10 games. Buffalo -6, and Buffalo has absolutely owned them also. Raiders have not covered a spread in Cincy since 1991. Cincy -7 if you like that one. Every Chargers game, this is insane, has gone under 40 points with a 31.9 points per game average. 42.5 is the total for that one. Titans 1-6 against the spread last 7 games as a favorite. If you like that, you take the ugly Patriots +3.5. Giants home games combined average score of 31 points per game with a total of 44 here in this one. Panthers 8-0 to the first half over this season. Obviously, because their defense is terrible. First half total 21.5. Panthers are also a ridiculous 1-14 against the spread in the first half, the last 15 games. That's absolutely terrible. Saints -3.5 in the first half, if you like that one. Ravens 2-11-1 against the spread. The last 14 is a favorite of 7 or more points. If you like that, you take Denver +8. And I got 2 of them for the Eagles. Eagles 2-8 against the spread last 10 games as a favorite. They have lost 6 straight up now. Jacksonville +7.5. If you like that one. Eagles also has still not scored a point in the first quarter of the season. 0-7 against the spread also in the first quarter. If you like the against the spread one, you take the Jags +2.5. Bears under an 8 of the last 9 road games. Now, that's been a very profitable one as well. The total in that one is 44.5. Rams 14-5 their last 19 divisional games. They are -1.5 against my Seattle Seahawks. And then Matt LaFleur 24-11 against the spread as an underdog, 69%. That is the best ever in this Super Bowl era. How about that one? But that's page 1. Take a screenshot. Hopefully it helps you get some winners. And now let's check out page 2. And we have, and again, just a reminder, these aren't official on page 2, but just some more info to kind of help you guys out. The best division against the spread versus teams outside the division. NFC North 18-7 ATS, AFC West 14-6. The worst divisions, AFC East 5-15, NFC South 6-14. I just thought that was pretty interesting. And then how about this one? If you just bet dogs of 200 or more, they're 15 and 24 straight up. It doesn't look great record, but it's actually incredible for plus 200 or more. If you bet that every time, you'd be up $1,556 if you're a $100 better. 23 and 14 against the spread. That is also, by the way, the most straight up wins in the last 20 years. Dogs of plus 250 or more are 9 and 11 straight up. That's absolutely crazy as well. You'd be up 1557, 12 and 7 against the spread. Now, someone mentioned this. Actually, a couple people mentioned this last time when I tailed a team that just played the Lions. Teams after facing the Lions are 0 and 6 straight up and 0 and 6 against the spread, failing to cover by 19.3 points per game. They're getting absolutely crushed on average. They're also 14 and 25 against the spread last 3 seasons. The teams that are coming off facing the Lions, that is the least profitable previous opponent against the spread. How about that stat? Anyways, teams to pass for 200 yards or less this season are 54, 50, and 2 against the spread. That would be the third highest win percentage over the course of a season since 1990. So passing for a lot of yards does not always equal wins, like we've talked about this year. And then, like we like to do every week, betting public, 51% or more of tickets is what the betting public is. They are now 57 and 59 and 3 against the spread this season. Terrible start, but the last 3 weeks, the public is now 29 and 13 ATS. Teams that get 66% or more of tickets. How about 21 6 and 1 against the spread? So those have heavy public tickets, they are cashing lately. Caleb Williams 7-0 against the second half spread. Just a random one I wanted to put out there, but that's pretty impressive how he comes out and how the Bears come out in the second half. There it is. Last season, you see the record. This season, you see the record 52 and 49 if you just blindly tailed all of those page one trends every single week. But that's what I got for you. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Carolina where the Panthers host the New Orleans Saints in an NFC South showdown. Saints -7. Total in this game 43.5. Quick notes, Bryce Young will be the starting quarterback. I am sorry, Panther fans. And also, Derek Carr will be back for the New Orleans Saints, which obviously is a huge upgrade over Spencer Rattler. My best bet in this game, we have faded the Panthers defense, I think, 3 times and won on every single bet. I'm taking it again. Give me the Saints team total over 24.5 points, -122 on DraftKings. If you can't get this and it ends up being too juicy, I like 25.5 also. 25 isn't really a key number in the NFL. So 2 weeks ago, we took the Commanders team total over 29.5, and they did it with ease over the Panthers. They had 40, I think, by the third quarter, and that was with Jaden Daniels getting hurt also. But this is the worst defense on planet Earth. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. The Panthers defense now giving up 34 points per game. 7 of their 8 opponents have scored over 24.5 points. The only miss was the Raiders, a terrible offense, and they still scored 22. Even the methodical under Kings themselves, the LA Chargers, went over this total. They allowed the third most pass yards per attempt, 7.8, 17th most rush yards per attempt, 4.5, which is really good for them, actually. But when you watch their games, it is literally like a scrimmage for the opposing quarterback. The Panthers get 0 pressure. Again, they still treat the quarterback as if they had that red jersey in practice and they cannot touch him. I guess they're just showing him some respect, which is really nice of them. But they are dead last in pressure. 12.3% quarterback pressure rate. One of only 2 teams in the league under 15%. Most quarterbacks, they'll find their guys when they have all day. No matter what kind of quarterback it is, if you have all day, they will find them because DBs cannot cover receivers for that long. Saints offense, it has been absolutely ugly lately. I get it, but again, it was Spencer freaking Rattler, and they had a ton of injuries. Derek Carr is back. They averaged 28 points per game in the 5 games with Carr before his injury. And like I said, they're getting healthier. Kamara looks good to go. Olave isn't even on the injury report anymore. And I just think Rattler was just not a good quarterback, not ready to be a starter yet. So I'm going to expect a big difference. Not to mention, Derek Carr is the leader of this team as well. He's going to give them some spark. And again, you just kind of need an average offense to put up a big score against the Carolina Panthers. Carr is a quarterback. When he has a clean pocket, he can do some things as most quarterbacks can. I almost took the full game over, but again, Bryce Young is starting, and I want 0 of my dollars on Bryce Young right now. And the team total for the Saints might actually be better with Bryce Young. I know they might not score and run it up with them, but he might throw some easy picks, give the Saints some easy field position because they go 3 and out and things like that. So I think it could actually help. It's round 4 time to fade the Panthers defense. Give me the Saints team total over 24.5 as my first best bet. All right, this second bet takes us out to Cleveland, Ohio, where the Brownies are hosting the LA Chargers. Chargers -1. Total in this game is 42.5. I feel like I bet a Browns game every single week. This time, I am fading them. Give me the Chargers on the money line, minus 118 on DraftKings for 1 unit. Jameis and the Browns offense look better. I expected them to last week because they faced the Ravens' horrendous defense, or pass defense at least, and I took the over in that one, and that cashed pretty easily. But this Chargers team is not the Ravens, that's for sure. But quick, let's talk some Browns injury issues that they have. Starting DB Denzel Ward is questionable with a concussion. Starting linebacker JOK, he is out with a neck injury from last week. He is by far their leading tackler. He is a big loss for this Browns team as well. Chargers injuries are actually getting healthier and healthier. Wide receivers are back. Ladd McConkey is looking really good lately. The Chargers offense, we know they love to slow the game down, choose some clock. They're tough. They would be a tough team to really blow out or anything because of how they play. But I think they're going to have some success here, especially without middle linebacker JOK for the Browns, especially if they don't have Denzel Ward. Myles Garrett has slowed down also for the Browns defense a little bit since his injury. I just like the Chargers' balanced attack. Yes, it could be more explosive, but I like it with Dobbins, and they're starting to open it up a little bit more with Justin Herbert. I think they can take advantage of this Browns defense. Now let's talk about Jameis Winston. Yes, he looked great. I'm a Jameis guy, to be honest with you. I think he should have a starting job in this league. He can throw it all over the field while making mistakes as well. But last week, he faced the Ravens. Have I mentioned that? The Ravens are allowing almost 300 pass yards per game this season. By far, they are dead last. Now he gets to face a Chargers defense allowing 193.4 pass yards per game. This defense is healthier also than Baltimore was last week because they were down one or two DBs that were a key part of their defense also. This Chargers defense doesn't make a lot of mistakes also. I can easily see Jameis Winston throwing an interception or two. If you watch that game, he threw like three to Ravens players that were dropped. I mean, let's just face it, he should have had more picks than he did last week. And then also the Browns offense, what we don't talk about, the run game is just still not getting going. And actually, speaking of injuries, I think they might be without Batonio, I forgot how to pronounce his name, an offensive lineman, which would be huge because they're already struggling on the O-line. Chubb, since being back in 2 games, he's averaging 2.7 yards per carry. So if they're not going to get much out of the run game, they're going to have to rely on Jameis's arm versus a good pass defense in the Chargers. It's going to be tough. I like what I'm seeing from the Chargers, just kind of on both sides of the ball. We know Harbaugh is the better coach by far. He's going to get his team fired up, ready to play. Also, his brother just played the Browns last week. You don't think they had a phone call this week for a little bit of help? That's not the reason I'm taking this bet. It was just something I thought of. But Browns, huge emotional win last week. It almost felt like their Super Bowl. They finally got a win after all the Deshaun Watson stuff. Jameis comes in, gets a win over the division rival. I think we see a letdown spot. Give me the healthier team, the better head coach, and the more talented offense, I believe, in this game for the Chargers on the money line as my second best bet. All right, this third and final bet takes us out to the desert where the Cardinals are hosting the Bears. Cardinals minus 1.5. Total in this game is 44.5. I'm going straight into it. Give me the Bears on the money line, plus 106 on FanDuel for 1 unit. Yes, the Bears are coming off an absolute brutal loss versus the Commanders on that Hail Mary play that we have all seen a million times this week. I think that makes them even more motivated, to be honest with you. And I also think getting out of Chicago is going to be a good thing. So Cardinals coming off a comeback win down 10 at halftime over the Miami Dolphins. Congratulations to Kyler Murray for winning consecutive games for the first time in a few years. I think that small 2-game winning streak is over here. This is usually when Kyler and the Cardinals let you down, when you think they're actually starting to be a decent team. But the Bears defense, let's talk about it real quick. They are going to be able to generate much more pressure than the Miami Dolphins did last week. The Miami Dolphins were also out a few of their best pass rushers last week. The Bears are a top 8 pressure team. Kyler Murray will not have the time he had last week. They also do it, by the way, the Bears get that much pressure while having the 11th lowest blitz percentage in the league, which is obviously huge. That's the key to defense. How can you get pressure without sending a ton of guys? So I think they're going to make life a little hard on Kyler. Now, the key will be slowing down James Conner. They need to be able to get him or keep him in check at least. They did allow 4.1 yards per carry to Robinson last week. That's not bad. They held Bigsby to 3.4 yards per carry. They have it in them. They just have to do it because they've also had a couple bad games defending the run. But with the pressure on Murray, we could get some sacks and make things hard on them, maybe some 3rd and longs to make them have to keep throwing. But the Bears defense have had success is because they are a bend, don't break defense. Their red zone defense is the number 1 defense in the entire NFL. They are only allowing a 36.84% of their opponent red zone drives to end in a touchdown. Number 1, just insanely good. I think they're going to do well here against Arizona. Even if Arizona does move the ball a little bit on the ground, they're going to clamp them down in the red zone, I think, and hold them to some field goals, which will obviously help them win this game. Cardinals defense, They will not get pressure on Caleb Williams as much as the Commanders did last week. The Cardinals are a bottom 3 team when it comes to pressure rate. Caleb Williams should have all day to throw. Caleb Williams has also shown improvement. I've been impressed with him, especially when given a clean pocket. He's been pretty good. I think he's going to be motivated here. I think that loss really pissed them off, especially him. But they struggle defending wide receivers, the Cardinals do. I think we see a big game from like DJ Moore and these guys as well. Cards giving up the 7th most receiving yards to the wide receiver positions. Not getting pressure will obviously do that. I think DeAndre Swift, no relation to Taylor Swift. I know I checked. I think he's going to have a good game. He has figured out a way to find holes and actually run the ball. The O-line has been a little bit better. I've been making fun of DeAndre Swift all year, but he's actually looked better lately, I will say. But then the Cardinals defense has been about the same as the Bears defense. Achane just ran for 97 yards on the Cardinals on 10 carries last week. So there is some opportunity there. But the difference, in my opinion, is this Bears pass defense and the pressure they're going to get on Kyler Murray and make it hard on Kyler. As long as they can contain him, I think they're going to be fine. Or contain James Conner, I think they're going to be fine here. So overall, I love the spot. Browns are getting out of Chicago. Not a terrible thing, like I mentioned. Caleb and this team will be motivated to bounce back after a terrible loss. Everyone is making fun of them this week while the Cardinals come in riding high, finally, on a 2-game winning streak for the first time in a while with Kyler Murray. So again, Kyler Murray, since he's been a Cardinal, they are 15-20 straight up after a loss as well. Give me the Bears to go into the desert and win this game, and that is my 3rd best bet of the day. And now let's check out the Trends Parlay. All right, it's time for the Trends Parlay. I'm going to give you 2 legs this time, not 3, because we need a winner. Let's just play it safer. Still plus 280, half unit. If you don't know what these are, it's not official on the record or anything, but we just pick a couple of our favorite trends we gave out earlier in the video, give you a little bit of analysis, and hopefully we can get a winner. So the trend on this first one, the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 2.5 in the first quarter. We know all about it. The Eagles have not scored at all in the first quarter of the season, which is absolutely crazy. They are 0-7. ATS in the first quarter. Yes, they obviously get off to slow starts. It's actually 9 games in a row now, dating back to last year, where they have not scored a first quarter point. I feel like I just have to tail this on principle alone. Jags 4-4 against the spread in the first quarter, 3-1 ATS on the road in the first quarter this year. And I actually think the Jaguars have a chance to cover the spread in the full game here and keep this competitive. I know it's disgusting to say out loud, but this bottom line is there's not much more analysis. The Eagles get off to slow starts. I think the Jaguars plus 2.5. We get a 0-0 first quarter, and we cash this one. So that's the first leg. Second one, under 42.5 Chargers Browns. Every Chargers game has been under 40 points. That is the trend we're following. Like we mentioned, 31.9 points per game average. The analysis, I'm going to be honest, this was almost my best bet under Chargers and Browns. Chargers are the king at chewing up clock, like we talked about in this game already. To not have a game reach 40 is just crazy to me. And then Jameis Winston, I think he comes back down to earth a little bit against a much tougher pass defense. My only worry was in this game is if Jameis does get those balls thrown to the other team and they actually catch him this time, he throws 1 or 2 interceptions and they lead to easy, quick points to the Chargers. But either way, I still like this under. The Chargers are just absolutely incapable of playing high-scoring games. That just is what it is. You've seen it in every single game. It's a big sample now. Lots of data. I think they're going to continue to chew up the clock, especially if the Browns don't have some players. They're going to continue to sustain longer drives. And then the Chargers, not the best offensive team in the red zone. So, as long as we're not getting pick sixes and things like that, I like this game to stay under. So that is the Trends Parlay under in the Chargers and Browns, and then the Jags plus 2.5 in the first quarter. Let's go get a winner. But that's what we got for the NFL Week 9 best bets. But of course, remember, the player props are coming out later tonight as well. So we got a lot of bets coming out. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The best bets for Week 9. Saints team total over 24.5 as the Panthers defense continues to struggle. Chargers on the money line, and then give me the Bears on the money line. And then, of course, we are due for a Trends Parlay winner. There it is, half unit, not official, but Jags plus 2.5 first quarter, under 42.5 Chargers Cleveland. We are playing it safe with 2 legs. If you want to go out a third leg, obviously you do what you want. But hopefully we have another great week in the NFL. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it again. NFL player props will be coming out late Friday night. And we're going to have another good weekend. I just feel it. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.